nearly 1,800 migrants were apprehended on Friday alone. That sector accounts for nearly 50% of all the large groups apprehended by Border Patrol. Meanwhile, the Biden administration is planning to bus immigrants from overwhelmed border communities in Texas. And yeah, guess what? They're going to dump them in cities and towns that are hours away. So, just no one notices that. This, of course, comes months after Republican Texas Governor Greg Abbott sent buses of migrants to the U.S. Capitol in Washington, D.C. in protest of the Biden administration's immigration policies. Now, to date, Abbott has sent roughly 65 buses of migrants to the U.S. Capitol. It's about 2,000 people. Our next guest just returned from a bipartisan trip to the southern border. Congressman Bryan Steil joins us now. Thank you for being here, Congressman. You went down there. You're the ranking member of the House Select Committee on Economic Disparity and Fairness and Growth. Tell me what you took away from that visit.
The Democrats called a committee hearing at the U.S.-Mexico border, the first committee hearing with Democrats and Republicans at the border in over 2 years. The Democrats, what do they want to talk about? Infrastructure and green energy. Republicans, we talked about the actual crisis that's playing out, and it's a crisis. We've had over 3 million people be encountered coming into the United States illegally since President Biden took office. That's 3 times the state population of Delaware. And what does the Biden administration do? On day one, they stop border wall construction. They pass a $1.9 trillion inflation-inducing bill, $0 for border security. They pass a $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill, $0 for border security. And now the Biden administration wants to slash $800 million from the budget of the Department of Homeland Security. They're moving in the wrong direction. They don't want to talk about the crisis that's playing out on the border. We need to do the opposite. We got to secure the border, Sean.
See, the thing that I think is so interesting is I thought it was a really risky move for them to go to have this hearing at the border. I guess what I heard what you said that they talked about, but did Republicans trap them in any way or get to at least get through and say, okay, are you at least concerned about those people jumping over? How do you talk about green energy at the border when people are flowing over? I guess what I'm asking is in private conversations or, on the bus, did it come up like, hey, we have a real problem here, or are they literally head in the sand?
No, absolutely. You can't ignore it when you're down at the border itself. When you talk to the members of the community, they deal with it every day. We had a woman testify before our committee about how children aren't safe to be outside because of the crime and because of the challenges that are playing out on a given basis. We had local community leaders that were talking about how they're diverting funds and resources from home communities to secure the border, which the federal government should be doing. But nationally, the Democrats don't want to discuss this issue. So we had people come down. They wanted to talk about everything but the issue playing out at the border. But when you're there, you absolutely can't ignore the problem that's playing out.
I get that, and that's what I'm trying to get at, Congressman. Did you go to any of your Democratic colleagues and say, okay, cameras are off, but you do admit that that's a problem, right? I mean, I guess what I'm getting at is, are they literally that ignorant, or is it just purely political that they don't want to talk about it? But do you have private conversations with them when the cameras are off, you're on the buses getting to or whatever you're arriving or going? I'm just trying to figure out, how is this purely political, or are they really that dug in that they're like, these aren't the drones we're looking for?
Yeah, no, they're realizing that there's a problem at the border. You can't hide from the fact that there's a problem at the border, but politically, Democrats are refusing to provide solutions to address it. There's policy answers that do that. The Biden administration, you got to remember, on day one, ends border wall construction, as I said. But the Democrats are petrified to be able to talk about how the policies of this administration, the policies of President Joe Biden, are making the border situation worse. They're petrified from the far left of the Democratic Party. They want to talk about anything other than the border crisis that's playing out. And so when the cameras are on, Democrats are refusing to talk rationally about the problems that are being created by this administration in private. You can't hide from it when you're there at the U.S.-Mexico border, seeing the problem play out right in front of you.
Just a suggestion. I think the next time you do this, you guys just take a bunch of cameras or, on your phone or whatever, and sort of get them on camera admitting this is a problem. I mean, They can duck, but they can't hide. And I think you're absolutely right. Once you see it firsthand, you can't deny it. We've got to get them on record, either admitting that they won't deal with this problem or that they really know that it's a thing. But I do want to switch gears for a second, because I mentioned a moment ago the Supreme Court issued a bunch of opinions today. They did not issue the Dobbs versus Jackson opinion, that case that will overturn Roe v. Wade. But interestingly, in Wisconsin, Planned Parenthood will temporarily stop scheduling abortions after June 25th if the decision doesn't come out by June 27th. They're just, I think, trying to get ahead of this. Where does this sit within the state of Wisconsin among your constituents?
I'm proudly pro-life. I don't think you're going to hear a lot of complaints from pro-life, from Republicans, from conservatives, that Planned Parenthood has made this decision. But here's the thing. Planned Parenthood and the far left, they're all behaving as if they know what the ruling is. We got to see what the ruling is. Well, I'm hopeful where this is going to go, but ultimately, we still don't have the final ruling from the Supreme Court. So we'll see what plays out. But the Democrats are all trying to act as if they know what the final decision is going to be. I'm pro-life. I'm hopeful. But we don't know what it is until the Supreme Court actually releases this ruling.
Okay. Well, I think we're all hopeful on that draft stays in place. Congressman Steil, thanks for sharing the details of that visit to us.
Thank you.